Hey guys, it's Tedious here, and how's everyone going? I'm back with another theory video on the channel. Well, not exactly theory video, but definitely storyline video, and in fact the entire storyline of Fortnite Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Save the World, every little secret, everything. So literally this is the entire recap of the Fortnite lore from the beginning to, well, not the end, because there's no end yet. It could go on for many years. We really don't know what Donald Mustard has up his sleeve with the Epic team and everything. But yeah, I think that I'm making this video because there's more people who are starting to watch my channel now, and there's more people who are starting to question things, and that's completely fine. I have no problem with, constructive criticism or whatever. I get that. I could be wrong sometimes. You guys could be wrong sometimes. Everyone can be wrong sometimes. It's really hard to get a perfect Fortnite storyline in your head, or any storyline, just right on the first go. So you take a few shots in the dark and you eventually hit, and I think I'm starting to hit. And a lot of people are starting to come towards the videos. Well, not a lot, not like, laser beam a lot, but a larger amount than I was expecting. And I think I'm making this video just because I have a lot of theories and ideas of the Fortnite storyline, and there's a lot of people new to Fortnite now coming in, so I just want to tell you what the storyline is, what my takes on the storyline are, and before you click off the video and say this is just his idea of it, it's not. Everyone has their own separate idea of the Fortnite storyline, their own theories. Most of this stuff is factual events confirmed by Epic, confirmed by leakers, confirmed by researchers, confirmed by other theorists that, have come true. So there's just a few odd theories in there, but not too many, so it's no big deal. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, maybe even turn on post notifications so you never miss another storyline video like this. And yeah, comment below on your thoughts, and let's get right into it. So this beginning here is something that no one talks about, and I think it's really weird that no one talks about it. The Save the World storyline and how it links in directly to the Battle Royale storyline, because, everyone knows about the loop now, even if you don't really like the storyline. Anyone who plays Fortnite knows about the loop, they know a bit about the story, it's common knowledge at this point. So I feel like we should dive deeper into it with the Save the World story and, stuff that people don't talk about. So let's start off with the Save the World beginning. A storm strikes the world, and it's something that's never been seen before. This storm carries monsters, husks, fiends, trolls, kings, everything. You're not going to stand a chance on this planet if you can't get some help. That's why you do get some help, and by you, I mean the commander. A character who's sort of like simulated into a clone several fighters' bodies during the Save the World storyline. It's confusing, but that's right, you run from zombies and hide in a tech lab owned by a combat technology company. Perfect for a storm apocalypse. They noticed that you were able to outlast the zombies, and you could actually do them some help. That's why they asked you to be their commander, and you say yes. So, what type of commander are you exactly? Well, just as you are recruited into the Vindertech team, the lab actually gets a distress phone call. "Hello?" says Ramirez. "Hello, yeah, I could really use some help out here, And there's our first fighter, Ramirez. The Vindertech suit you up with virtual glasses, and you're simulated into a cloned body of her or something. You're simulated there, and you're sort of fighting there as well. I mean, they can clone? That's awesome. And it's really important for the future as well. So you're a virtual commander, right? That's cool and all. But what do you do exactly? Well, you train as Vindertech's commander by fighting off zombies from the storm. And after you're trained enough in being simulated into clones' bodies and fighting off those monsters, you actually go up against the big boy himself. The Storm King, the King of the Storm of the King, the King of the Storm and the Storm of the King, the Storm King. I'm such an idiot, why did I say it like that? Oh well, sometimes we're just dumb as a part of personality, am I right? Anyways, that's off topic. So, we were at fighting the Storm King. So yeah, you defeat him by doing epic moves from your training and stuff like that, but when he dies, his energy downfalls into a purple cube. Almost as if his soul is now trapped inside an energetic cube of purple light. Well, yeah, because that's what happened. According to the Fortnite wiki, the Storm King is the true embodiment of the cube. And what does embodiment mean? Well, the word itself has many meanings to it, but there's just one that matches up best with the whole monster's soul situation, and that's this definition. The representation or expression of something in a tangible or visible form, or in a simplified way, just the representation of something in a visible form. So the Storm King is just another version of the cube visually? Well, no. If you look up representation, it tells you that the word depiction has a very similar meaning. Then, at the end of all the researching and all that, you type up depiction, and you get this. A depiction is a true representation of something. So the Storm King basically dies and his energy all breaks down into this cube thing, meaning the cube is a true representation of him. But that doesn't mean the Storm King is fully gone. Keep in mind, he does represent the cube and the cube represents him, so it's like a looping thing. So the cube is technically kind of alive if it's represented by something that was alive. Just keep that in mind. So the Storm King's dead, but no, he's actually not. I get it, it sounds confusing, but it's very necessary to hear for later. Or actually right now, because the Storm King comes back in Twine Peaks as a mythic version of himself and challenges us or the commander to yet another duel with him. Hell yeah, dude, I beat you once, I can surely do it again. Yes, sorry to say, but he's called Mythic now for a reason. This dude is so OP, honestly, you gotta put up a good fight to win this battle. But it's definitely possible. So, what energies does this king produce when he dies? Well, he just has the same energy and he dissolves into a cube, but a much more powerful version of it. See, there's a lake in the middle of the Storm King's sort of isle or spawn area, his domain if you will. Anyways, so yeah, the cube sinks into that lake and not long after it gets overwhelmed with enragement, anger, and power, so it rips out of the lake and implodes. This actually causes a lot of trouble because a death of the power that big is a massive loss for the universe's singularities, portals, everything, and you'll learn a lot about that later. But this causes a massive malfunction with the power in this matter, and everyone's taken to a world of white portals, also called singularities as we mentioned earlier, and it's very weird. So one of these singularities or portals or rifts sucks those people in again, and it's a portal to another island. That's right, but this area is where the cube belongs, with the other singularities. So our first singularity is now back where it belongs. It's back in the in-between with all the other portals. This is basically just a place where all singularities or reality cores or portals or whatever you want to call them originally come from. It's a land of immense power, and it's where the rifts go after they, die, explode, whatever. It's basically where it all started, where it all lands, it's a singularity, and some of those portals lead us to new islands, and we went into one of those portals, and now we're on a new island, the Chapter 1 map, and this is where the extremely popular game storyline begins, Season 1. Welcome to the Battle Royale Island. In case the Storm King does in fact return, the Vindertech set up a simulated storm with the cube's energy samples that they'd taken to recreate the old world state for the Vindertech droids to practice fighting each other in case they ever needed to fight him again. The white dot or black hole or singularity or rift that sucked them into this world is the core of the island, commonly known as the 0 point. As this ball or core is a natural source that's full of all elements of power, the Vindertech decide to use it to create their fighting arena realm thingy, because, it has immense power, where people fight and die and fight and die and fight and yeah, okay, so on and so forth, we get it. But there's no worries to it, of course they just get simulated out and respawn or whatever, so no droids are lost, which is really good. So now that the Vindertech have made a simulated fighting Royale thingy and used a bunch of survivors from a random world as their test dummies, it sounds all pretty simple, right? Yeah, no, it's not. The people inside this simulated fighting Royale start developing their own minds and knowledge again, and they realize they need armor to fight, so they do that. Season 2. Welcome to a Knights theme, where people discover that they can dress up as some random fighting people from the Roman Empire, better known as Knights, and battle off in a simulated reality. This is where the real Battle Royale storyline begins. So the Vindertech see that people are beginning to evolve minds of their own again, and of course they take advantage of it. It's partially bad because the fighters could end up realizing that Vindertech is just using them to help fight off the Storm King one day, but it's also pretty good. They're making their own armor, which makes them stronger, so the Vindertech alter the looped fighting arena so that any changes the player or fighter makes to themselves stays here for the next round of battle. How convenient. But it also creates another clone of the player without the changes too, in case you need a backup droid if anything goes wrong. But nothing could go wrong, right? Nope. Things go wrong very quickly actually. Season 3. As the media approaches the island, many islanders see it and get ready to leave off into space. But then the magma rocks get closer and it actually appears to be fake. What? It appears to be someone in an artificially made media coming down to scout out the island. Interesting, but who are they? Well, when the meteor hits the island, it creates a massive crater in the close to center point of the island and creates the Dusty Divot. Although this is all the Season 3 storyline we got, keep in mind it was very early on in the game's history, and there wasn't that much going on. But Season 4 is a big one for the storyline, trust me. In that season, research facilities are set up by Vindertech around the Divot to investigate the meteor crash, and then they find it. There's a pod inside and someone's escaped it. Someone is investigating the island and they're on the loose. Superheroes and even villains are called to the island to investigate this suspicious scouter on the island who is figuring out what the island is. Also, the mysterious scouter who came to the island is the Visitor, if you didn't know who I was already talking about. So, the villain who came to the island and the superhero team up, because the Visitor is a bigger force than both of them. After a while of absolutely nothing happening, Omega, the villain who came to eliminate the Visitor, begins to build a rocket so that he can leave the island. But then, oh no, the Visitor steals the rocket and leaves the island. But since the island is a simulation, there are barriers to it. There is a point where the simulation doesn't exist anymore, and the Visitor breaks through that point. Him trying to escape the island leaves a crack in the dome of the loop of the Battle Royale island of everything, a damage in the simulation, an overall malfunction and weakness in the world. This can't be good. Yeah, it's really not good. Season 5. Time begins to break and worlds begin to collide. With rifts breaking all over the Fortnite island, the Cube's soul, or the Storm King spirit or whatever, sees this and he wants his revenge after the Vindertech killed both of his monster forms, being both the original and the mythic Storm King. So he is the spirit, and he's still in his rift butterfly portal singularity sort of form, and he flies towards another singularity, also known as the 0 point. He's ready to enter and corrupt Fortnite Island. So he slowly marks runes into the ground, and once he's reached his final destination, he once again sinks into the water, just like in Save the World. This is definitely not a coincidence, I'm sure of that. So whilst gaining full power under the lake again, the cube is going better than ever. Well, maybe for the spirit inside itself, but definitely not the rest of the island. Season 6. It's time. The cube's ready to go back into the in-between, so the core of the cube rips out of the lake and begins to revisit his marks on the island to gain full power again. Once this is done, the cube explodes, creating a portal back home. The explosion is so huge that everyone on the island is sucked into the in-between, or the explosion, but the 0 core to the island doesn't want us to leave, so it shifts into its butterfly form and goes over to each player, taking them all back. So now we have the 0 point core that makes its way beneath the island again, and now that it's done its job of returning all the players, it can go back to sitting at the core, being stable, doing absolutely nothing, and making the Vindertech less worried about the island's future. And that's not all for Season 6. Although the 0 point is now under the island and the cube shards are just in the central area of the island, there's yet another world or singularity that's ready to visit the island. Well, that is it for Season 6, but definitely not the singularities that it caused. Welcome to Season 7. Another singularity notices the Fortnite Island's interactions in the Rift area, and it decides to visit our world. It rifts its own small ice world into the loop and makes its way towards our island. When the iceberg hits, the King of the Ice is ready to unleash his team, his army, and his power, and they're taking over the island. Holy crap, we're dead, we're back to this. Over the season, the Ice King gains more and more power from his world's singularity and his king's gesture of god powers and more. In fact, so much power is built up inside of him that he can't take it. He locks himself inside of his Ice Ball singularity to gain even more, and once he's gained it all, he unleashes all of his energy to storm the entire island and freeze it over. Welcome to a world with a crap ton of snow. So now he's fully taken over, and this isn't good. So a longtime enemy of the Ice King decides to attack the Ice King's new island, and his name is the Fire King. He arrives into the Fortnite universe and is quickly imprisoned by his enemy, but after a while he breaks out and unleashes his power. Basically, at this point, gods of all elements are fighting for the 0 point, as it's the ultimate power in the universe. So, the prisoner or the Fire King could very well be a part of the 7 as teased in the Imposters game mode, so we're gonna stick with that info for now. Just saying, so you're not confused. Season 8. So this fire dude from a mysterious group called the 7 overtakes the island to restore balance from the Ice King to make sure that his enemy does not get the orb or the 0 point. This includes using his lava power to plant a volcano on the island, but he can't do all of this work alone. The 0 point needs to be protected by another one of his crew, the Singularity. Also, Donald Mustard has teased that she is part of the Seven, which is the group that both the Visitor and the Prisoner are supposedly in. So we're going with that for the video, and that is my true opinion in this personal theory. So anyways, the Seven are working on a way to stop this fighting for the orb and just end it all. This is the real plan and storyline of Chapter 1 now. It revolves all around the Seven, and it explains why the Visitor was here, why the superheroes and the villains really showed up, and yeah, now it all starts to make sense, as I said earlier. The Seven want to destroy the looping battlegrounds made by the Vindertech. But why? Well, actually, we only just found out why like 2 weeks ago, so that point in the video will take a while to get to. Alright, the Seven's plan is now beginning. The plan to destroy the island, and here it goes. The Prisoner enrages his power and erupts the volcano, but so no one dies in the process, the Singularity or the Paradigm uses the 0 Point's power to break gravity and pull everyone inside of an underground base that she'd been working on just for this moment. So everyone's safe underground and distracted, and the Prisoner begins to erupt his volcano. Just as it begins, everyone is let out. So boys, grab a jumbo bucket of popcorn, sit back, and watch reality end. Or girls, I don't know who watches my video. Anyways, I'm going off topic like I often do, so let's get back to the volcanic eruption. One of the molten rocks hits the Ice King's castle and awakens his beast. Yes, just like the cube had an alternate monster form, so does the Ice King's ball-looking 0 Point thingy that he got trapped inside of. It is also insanely powerful, and it's a monster. Season 9. So Singularity works on patching up the world after the volcano's destruction like the nice person that she is. And the monster gets unleashed just like the Seven had intended. The Singularity uses the 0 Point power to restore the island's buildings and to build a fighter robot to kill off the monster. So the plan is starting now, for good. The monster gets pretty angry though, and goes for the 0 Point. So the robot just lets him do his thing for a bit, but only for a bit. Then the massive bear droid kills the monster by using the 0 Point's power, and also a random sword that was in a statue the whole time. I mean, who knew? And just like the Seven wanted, time is breaking, and the 0 Point is malfunctioning. Now reality is gonna end. Season X, time is broken. All of the singularities and disasters revisit the island just as planned by the Seven. These guys are honestly kinda smart by combining all the biggest powers in the universe to end it all. So they do that, and the island ends. So, was it all a plan? A plan to end the island? That was the whole chapter? Yeah, it was. Makes sense now, huh? So, okay. Now the Chapter 1 island is sucked into the Rift World and just becomes the 0 Point again. Well, not becomes it or gets destroyed, it's just inside of it. But then Epic Games give us a sight of looking at it for 2 days without being able to play the game and doing nothing else and letting little kids smash their TVs. How lovely of you guys. Thanks, Donald. Really appreciate this one. Season 1, Chapter 2. The other island is gone, or just gone from vision at least, but no one's dead. They're all clones anyway, so they just get placed into another fighting simulation by the Vindertech, who now go by the name of the Imagined Order. Now, this is not a common theory that the Vindertech and the IO are the same, but just listen to me. This is the Vindertech logo on the Vindertech Vault seen in Save the World. This is the similar looking logo on a truck with a black and yellow colour scheme. Since this looks a lot like the Vindertech symbol, we can assume that this is also a colour scheme that they might use quite often. This is a similar branded and coloured helicopter that would most likely mean it's by the Vindertech or from the Vindertech. And here is that same Vindertech helicopter, but now with the Imagined Order logo, showing that the Order have evolved from Vindertech into the IO. So yeah, the Vindertech are now the Imagined Order, and now there's a new simulated island. And although the Seven don't know about this island yet, there's still people who want to take over it. Great. These people are Alter and Ego, or just the Imagined Order's new clones that know way too much about what's really going on. So they fight, and it's truthfully painful to watch because no one ever wins. That's why a man working for the Imagined Order quits his job and offers to help these people out. His name is Midas, and trust me, he's really not that nice of a man. Because he's actually helping out both sides of the war for his own sake. He's being very, very selfish, but you'll find out why. He has an agency that he could use to improve both of the factions. Both sides of the war like this idea, so they stop fighting and settle to study about who the real enemies are. But this is all part of yet another plan. Midas sets up fake trolls and moles in the scheme of the war to mess with people, so that he can gain their intelligence and break the loop. They knew too much. The man does everything he can to break the storm, but he can only break one element. the corruption inside of it, the purple just the main element of the storm, which does help, but not enough. So, the Ice King and Fire King's energy is still within the storm in the 0 point system from many years ago. So, although the purple stuff is gone, the ice and the fire is still contrasting each other, and the fire burns the solid away. What solid? Well, the ice, of course, and it melts all into water, leaving a massive amount of water, well, a wall of water surrounding the island. Then it drops and floods the island. Welcome to Season 3. Alright, this season doesn't take much explaining. It's literally just the same war that's been happening for the past 2 seasons, but on water, while the people wait for it all to slowly drain. So, literally nothing happens, beside a random spaceship that meant absolutely nothing. But yeah, nothing happens for the entire season. So, honestly, a very bad season. Season 4. A guy from Marvel sees the 0 point and wants its insane amount of power. Seriously, we're back to the war for an orb of light again. Okay, this is just... oh God, why? So the Marvel superheroes who know the Marvel enemy, which is Galactus, best, come to the island to stop him. Again, there's barely any story that happens in this season, or in the middle of it, or just throughout the whole width of it, because in the end, they just do stop him. I mean, it really wasn't that hard for them to do it. But he does break the 0 point quite a damn bit, so that's not good. But realistically, you could completely erase Season 3 and 4 from existence, and the story would still make sense. Think about it. Midas attacks the loop and damages it, and then the same thing happens to the 0 point that Galactus did, but... anyways, we can't always get what we want, am I right? But after 2 seasons of fillers, we get an absolute banger where Jonesy doesn't get what he wants. Welcome to Season 5. One of the Imagined Order's employees is sent into the island's loopy thingy world of fighting to save all reality. Just him, by himself, to get random hunters and save the entire universe. They're putting a lot of pressure on my guy. Anyways, he still tries. He gets hunters and portals and realities and more, and at the end he realizes the IO are mad at him for not being able to save the entire universe by himself. Are they serious? They lock him out of the Imagined Order's records and disable his entire profile. Jones betrays the IO, he hacks their systems and gets information on the 7 to send one of them to the island to help him. I mean, seriously, can you blame him? The entire order is such a piece of shit. The leader of the 7, or the Foundation, helps Jones by absorbing all the 0 point's power and sealing it using his own power. What a sacrifice. Jeez, this guy is an absolute legend. He will go down in the books of history. What a true one, man. What a true one. This, of course, breaks time again, and random rifts start opening across the multiverse, including an alternate back-in-time reality of the Fortnite universe, Gotham City, and also in some gothic, cube-obsessed man's world that has some serious anger issues. But all that aside, let's look at the rifts that opened in Gotham City, because the Primal World and the angry purple dude came through the portal to Fortnite, but Gotham didn't come. Well, it did in Season 10, but not in Season 6. Anyways, Batman eventually makes his way into Fortnite through the rift and realizes he can't get out. Well, he can, and he does, but that takes a bit of time. This is terrible for the Imagined Order. They can't have a geniusly smart fighter in the loop. He'd destroy everyone, an entire reality itself. And that is why the boss of the Order, known as Dr. Sloan, calls up some of Batman's universal enemies to mess with his head. Batman hates Superman, so she calls him to mess with him, and also to help out with the IO's documents. We know that Superman is hired to mess with Batman because we can see him using Batman as an outfit in the Season 7 trailer, but the trickery does not end there. After a while, Sloan gets another call regarding the use of Superman in her order. But this time, the caller is offering a little more than just some help. A lot and a lot of money. After Jones attempted to save the whole reality by spending heaps of the Order's credits to hire different hunters, the IO are in financial shambles. So, of course, Sloan accepts the call over Superman's offer, and the new plan begins. She had gotten a call from Lex Luthor, the direct enemy of Superman, basically. Him and his team offer Sloan heaps of money if they can have access to Superman's location when his memory is wiped so they can kill him off easily. Sloan offers to help Lex and his team out. Sloan tells Superman to enter the loop. Season 7, the current season, I know, it's been like a 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I don't know, but this is a long damn storyline. But yeah, we're here. We're coming towards the end of it, but honestly, this season's storyline is long as, and we haven't even had the end event. Like, Dude, what? This is insane. So, Sloane tells Superman to enter the loop, but she doesn't only tell him to do this for the Luthor plan, but also because he needs to help save the island. As Batman escaped the loop, just like the Order were trying to avoid, it left a portal open to the islands for others to go through. An islander by the name of Cuddle Team Leader escapes and finds herself looking through random portals to other worlds. She goes to the only other one she can see, or the last other reality that contains aliens inside it, and when it's time to leave, the aliens follow her back to the Fortnite island. Now there's another faction on the island of Pluxarian weird chimera looking thingies of robots and crap. This is weird, but they want to destroy everyone and be the last reality in the Fortnite universe, I guess. So Superman being a superhero would be awesome to fight off some of these aliens. And he'd also get the IO some extra cash from Luthor. Perfect for Sloane. And so the plan with Lex begins. An anchor device is placed in the loop, and Lex can now enter whenever he wishes. But what Lex doesn't know is that he could be taken into our loop and wiped of his memory. But is Sloane that big brain? Maybe, or maybe not. We'll find out in the next Batman comics. They're called Batman One Shot, and the first one is releasing on the 27th of October this year. So stay tuned for that, because it's going to be really, really cool. But now to the main and original Fortnite storyline. I love this. Okay, now onto the mole. Oh, and there was also a Rift tour where the aliens scanned our memories and we visited old worlds of many other loopers, but that didn't have any effect on the map, so not that big of a deal. Also, just so you know, the mothership does not have the 0 point. A lot of people get confused around this topic, but I can assure you, the aliens do not have the light orb that everyone wants. Okay, now to the mole storyline. The aliens have been on the island for a while now, and obviously the IO would like to get rid of them. So they put together a plan, which we still don't know what it was, but anyways, that's fine, because it's not happening. You know why it's not happening? Well, because an IO employee leaked their first plan to the aliens, the double agents who had agreed to work with Jones in the plan to betray the Order, take the aliens' arrival as an opportunity to leak the IO's operations about killing off this weird reality of aliens, so that the aliens can prepare and win the war, ultimately killing off Sloane and the Order. That's the ultimate goal, right? This makes Sloane realize that there are traitors to the imagined Order who want the IO to be doomed, and she takes action. She starts up a program that scans out for the traitors, so that's why we got the Imposter Among Us ripoff mode that's here now. Just a fun fact for you all. And now for the last straw, where we are right now. So it's obvious to everyone that the aliens are abducting Fortnite locations at the moment, and the Coral Castle abduction is actually underway right now. But if you haven't been living under a rock and you watch Fortnite YouTube, I mean you do, you're watching this video, you'd know that Corny Complex is the next place to be picked up by the mothership. Where exactly are the IO based? At that location. And who was building the bomb? The IO. So if IO are building a bomb in their base that is going to be abducted, then the bomb will detonate inside of the mothership. This is honestly kind of genius. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. From when I'm recording this video, it's exactly 3 weeks away from Season 8, and I'm sure the story will be insane from there on out. With the Cube's return, Naruto, and also some Pyramid Place. I don't know about that. I don't know much about the next season, to be honest. The sideways, everything seems very, very crazy and confusing. You know what I do know? I know that if you enjoyed this video or were informed by it in any way, that you should make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on post notifications, and also comment, because you interact with the video, and maybe if you do that, then YouTube will stop removing likes from all of my videos. I don't know, but we'll give it a try. I'm Tedious, your guy for all Fortnite storyline news, theories, and leaks, and I'm out. Peace. Have a good one.